A giant awakens, the making of a legend. In the early 20th century, a colossal ship took shape in Belfast, Ireland. The RMS Titanic, a marvel of engineering, promised unparalleled luxury and speed. Its size was staggering, dwarfing any other vessel afloat. 3 years of construction, thousands of workers, and the latest technology went into creating this floating palace. The Titanic, it seemed, could conquer the very ocean itself. Newspapers heralded the Titanic as unsinkable. Its double-bottom hull and watertight compartments inspired confidence. The ship boasted opulent staterooms, grand staircases, and even a swimming pool. For passengers, the Titanic offered a taste of the future, a glimpse into a world of technological advancement and human achievement. Little did anyone know a tragic destiny awaited. Maiden voyage, destination New York. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic embarked on her maiden voyage from Southampton, England. Excitement filled the air as passengers boarded, their dreams as vast as the ocean before them. The ship, a city at sea, hummed with activity. First-class passengers enjoyed lavish meals and strolled along the promenade deck. In contrast, third-class passengers, many seeking new lives in America, made the most of their modest accommodations. The journey across the Atlantic began smoothly. The Titanic, seemingly gliding through the water, lived up to its reputation for speed. Days passed, filled with sunshine and the rhythm of the sea. Passengers socialized, children played, and the ship's band filled the air with music. The vastness of the Atlantic stretched out before them, a symbol of both freedom and the unknown. An ocean of dreams life on board the Titanic. The Titanic was a microcosm of society. The differences between first, second, and third class were stark. First-class passengers enjoyed opulent surroundings, fine dining, and personalized service. They promenaded on deck, played squash, and indulged in afternoon tea. Second-class passengers, while not privy to the same extravagance, still enjoyed comfortable accommodations and good food. Third-class passengers, many immigrants seeking a better life, traveled in cramped quarters below deck. Yet even in their modest surroundings, hope and anticipation filled the air. Families shared meals, made new friends, and dreamed of the opportunities that awaited them in America. The Titanic carried not just passengers, but stories, aspirations, and the promise of a new world. Ice and shadow, a fateful encounter. As the Titanic steamed westward, a silent threat lurked in the frigid waters. Icebergs, massive and unforgiving, drifted south from Greenland. Despite warnings from other ships, the Titanic maintained its speed. The night of April 14th was calm and clear, the sea deceptively peaceful. Lookouts, their eyes straining in the darkness, scanned the horizon. Just before midnight, a lookout spotted it, a dark shape looming out of the night. An iceberg, directly in the Titanic's path. The alarm was sounded and the engines reversed, but it was too late. The ship, unable to turn in time, grazed the iceberg along its starboard side. The impact, though seemingly slight at first, would prove fatal. A night of chaos, the Titanic's final hours. The collision sent shockwaves through the ship. Passengers, initially unaware of the danger, felt a jolt and heard a scraping sound. Confusion quickly gave way to panic as the true extent of the damage became clear. The iceberg had ripped a series of gashes along the Titanic's hull, flooding several compartments. Captain Edward Smith, realizing the gravity of the situation, ordered the crew to prepare the lifeboats. However, there were not enough lifeboats to accommodate all passengers and crew. The unsinkable Titanic was sinking, and chaos reigned as passengers and crew faced the unthinkable. Into the depths, the unthinkable happens. As the Titanic sank lower in the water, the angle of the deck grew steeper. Panic escalated as the reality of the situation set in. Women and children were given priority for the lifeboats, leading to heartbreaking separations. The ship's band played on, their music a haunting melody against the backdrop of screams and prayers. At 2:20 a.m., the Titanic broke apart, its stern rising high into the air before plunging into the depths. Over 1,500 souls were lost in the icy waters of the North Atlantic. The unsinkable ship was gone, leaving behind only shattered dreams and a legacy of tragedy. Rescue and recovery, a race against time. Hours after the Titanic sank, the RMS Carpathia, responding to distress calls, arrived at the scene. The Carpathia's crew worked tirelessly to pull survivors from the lifeboats. The sight that greeted them was harrowing, a sea littered with debris and the bodies of those who had perished in the icy water. The Carpathia, filled with the rescued and the grief-stricken, arrived in New York City on April 18th. The world, which had eagerly followed news of the Titanic's voyage, was now united in mourning. The sinking of the unsinkable ship sent shockwaves across the globe. The world reacts, shock and disbelief. The news of the Titanic's sinking was met with disbelief and horror. Newspapers around the world printed extra editions, struggling to convey the magnitude of the disaster. The loss of life, especially among the wealthy and famous, shocked the world. The public demanded answers. How could this unsinkable ship have sunk? Investigations into the disaster revealed a series of errors and oversights. From the lack of sufficient lifeboats to the ship's speed in dangerous waters, the disaster highlighted the need for improved safety regulations at sea. The sinking of the Titanic served as a stark reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human life. A legacy endures lessons from the deep. Over a century later, the story of the Titanic continues to captivate and haunt us. It stands as a monument to human ambition and the hubris of believing that we can conquer nature. The wreck, discovered in 1985, serves as a poignant reminder of the tragedy. The story of the Titanic has been told and retold in books, films, and documentaries. It serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the importance of safety, preparedness, and humility in the face of the unknown. The Titanic's legacy is a reminder that even the grandest of dreams can be shattered by the unforgiving reality of